Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carissa and I talk about all things modeling related as a short girl. Today we're going to be talking about modeling scams in Nigeria, how to detect them and how to avoid them like a plague. And I say this because I'm a model living and working in Nigeria and I understand what it's like to be passionate about something and to have like certain people try to take advantage of you. I want to try to make sure that you don't go through the same as well. So how to detect modeling scams in Nigeria? Number one, they ask for money up front. Like, that's the first thing that they would always ask for. When you try to apply to an agency, when you see an agency open call and you reach out to them, and the first thing they tell you is that you need to pay 5,000 naira for registration, 10,000 naira, 15,000 naira, you need to buy form 15k, you need to once money is the first thing you hear when you apply to an agency, automatically you should know that it is scam, either an agency or if you're applying for a job and they tell you that you need to buy the form first, you need to pay for so on. If that's the first thing that they're telling you, it is most likely a scam. You need to understand how modeling works. Modeling is all about how you look, your body, and how you can best represent the brand. So if you're applying to an agency or you're applying for a job, the first thing they're supposed to consider is how you look and whether your look suits what they are representing. Do you understand? So for example, you're applying to an agency. If it's a high fashion agency, they're going to first of all ask for your digitals because they want to see what you look like and if you can properly represent the clients. Do you understand? So modeling is primarily about how you look and how you can best represent the brand. Even for commercial agencies, most commercial jobs need to suit a certain role. So let's say there's a commercial ad for a mother and a child. Definitely the model they'll be looking for is someone that can look like a mother to the child, right? So if you're applying to an agency and you're applying for a job and there's no specifics, they're not asking you for your Polaroids, they're not asking to see how you look, they're not trying to know you better to see if you can best represent them, it's most probably a scam. Number two, they always lure you with a mouth-watering pay. Quick one, let me tell you a story about a casting I attended a long time ago actually. I saw the ad on Instagram and they said, oh, they were casting for Airtel. I think, yeah, they were casting models for Airtel. And I was like, oh, cool. I've been modeling for a while. At least I would know how to do a commercial. I know that if I go for the casting, I will not disgrace myself. And then went for the casting. I met some other models, models who had been in the industry for one model. Even she said she came from Lagos or something, or she came from Kano. I can't remember. I know she traveled in for that particular casting. And then when we entered into the boardroom, they started talking. They were like, okay, there are different packages. Starter, you pay 15,000 naira. The next package, I think, is 30,000 naira, and then there's a 50,000 naira package, there's a 100,000 naira package. So depends on the package. If you book like the premium package, let's say you book the one of 100,000 naira now, you now have access to those high paying jobs. And I was so happy that we're not new models in that room because everybody started talking. We're like, we've been modeling for a while. This is not how modeling works. If you book the job, you get paid. There's no, oh, you pay this so amount of money. And then I was like, okay, who are your client base? And I said, oh, they don't really have a client base yet. Guys, you need to be careful. I mean, you're an aspiring model and you live in Nigeria, you know how hard the economy is, and you're seeing a job ad or a model casting ad and they say that, they want to book you for companies like Airtel, MTN, or they want to book you for skincare brands and they're calling 500k, 1 million naira, 750k per shoot, or even some people go as low as saying 150k, 200k per shoot. And you know how hard the economy is. Anybody that sees that kind of pay and anybody that sees that kind of pay would definitely be tempted. Oh, 200k per shoot, that means if I keep on working for the brand, who knows how much I can make. Or they tell you that, oh, the pay is 500k, the pay is 1 million naira. They always lure you with mouth watering pays. Trust me, I'm not saying that an aspiring model cannot book a job as big as that, or that an aspiring model cannot book a big campaign, but such companies would prefer to use models that they are sure can actually deliver. Do you understand? They want to book models that they know can be professional and understands how the industry works, understands how to pose, understands how to give the emotions that they need. So it's going to be hard for big companies like that to book aspiring models. So prefer if you've actually gone through certain trainings, and if you understand how to best represent their brand. Same thing goes for an agency. An already existing agency would not just scout for random new faces to come and book major campaigns. They'll prefer if you're already trained, so that they know that you will not disgrace them when you get there, basically. So when you always see that they always have mouth-watering pays and they're always writing it there, it's most probably a scam. Agencies don't go about throwing how much the clients pay. They discuss with the clients behind closed doors, sign the contract, and then they relate it to whoever model is booked. They don't go about shouting it on their pages that, oh, this is what this client paid, this is what that client paid. It's a scam. When you see mouth-watering pays and they are throwing the amount online, it is most probably a scam, and then they want to lure gullible models to fall for their scam. And then when they lure you, they tell you, oh, the pay is 500,000 naira. Pay 15,000 naira for form. You'll be like, if I pay 15k, I'm going to have 475,000 naira from this deal. So what's 15k? What's 15k to pay compared to 500k? What you don't understand is that they've reached out to about 50 other models, and if out of those 50, even if it's 10 that decides to pay that 15,000 naira, they would have made about 250,000 naira scamming young gullible models like that. So guys, be very careful. They always lure you with a mouth-watering. The third way to detect a modeling scam in Nigeria is that they are always casting for models. I mean, every single time, they are always casting. Open call. This week they had open call. Next week, open call. Third week, open call. Last month, you saw when you check their page, they are always casting for new models. That should be a red flag for you. A real agency would take their time, have open calls, and then groom those models and start sending them out for jobs or booking them clients. And then after a while, they take in more models. Legit agencies don't have open calls regularly. Some have open calls once or twice a year or 3 times a year. However, agencies have opportunities where models can work in. I'm not saying that agencies don't accept models all the time. No, that's not what I'm saying. They have opportunities where models can work into the agency, and then you can shoot your shots, and if you're good for them, yes, they would take you. So open calls are not the only ways that agencies book sign models rather. And then some agencies, especially big agencies, also have model scouts. So these model scouts are always going out to search for models and then bring models into the industry. So I'm into the agency rather. I'm not saying that if an agency is always accepting models, it is scam. No, I'm saying take a look at their page. Yeah, if every time they are always putting out open calls, then there's something wrong. What about the ones you casted last month? What happened to them? Do you understand? What about the ones you casted 2 months ago? Why are you still asking new models to come and apply for this particular job? Mouth-watering pay, with a mouth-watering pay. Why are you asking this new model? What about the one you casted last week? Do you understand? So if you see that and it's a consistent thing with an agency, you should know that it is scam. I've had personal experience with this, especially when I was an aspiring model, and I was so lucky at that point because I didn't have money at all. So fortunately for me, I didn't fall into any scam like that. I didn't have the money to pay. So when it got to that point, when they tell me, oh, you have to pay for registration, because I don't have money, I wouldn't be able to go on with it. So there was this particular agency. I mean, like every week there's always something. There's always this competition. There's always this fashion show that you will need to pay for. Man, it took a while for me to actually understand that this has to be a scam. The ones you signed last week, what happened to them? The ones you signed 2 weeks ago, what happened to them? And then what actually did it for me was when I applied. They said there was a casting for a fashion show, and then I applied for the show, and then they were like, "Oh, you have to pay 3,000 naira for training and all of that." And to God through baby, I was so tempted because 3K was small in my eye. I was like, okay, at least I've seen the one that I can afford. But I told myself, this is not how modeling works. I've never heard that models pay money to work in a fashion show. So thankfully, I was smart enough to understand that this one is probably a scam. You would think that 3,000 naira is small until they collect it from 50 people. Do the math. You will see how much these guys are making trying to deceive models. And then the last tip for detecting modeling scam is that they avoid answering standard industry questions or sensitive questions. Let me use this my story too. I have a lot of experiences with these guys because as an aspiring model, I wanted to start the right way, apply to modeling agencies, but because I'm 5'3", I'm a shop model, a lot of the high fashion agencies rather, that I applied to, some didn't even bother responding, but then the few ones that actually took their time to respond to me explained to me how it works, that no, they only sign high fashion models, so the least they would take is 5'8", and I was too short at 5'3", so I started broadening my options. I started looking for anybody at all that is accepting any model, and so when I saw opportunities where there was no height requirement, I tried to jump on it. So I saw this particular one on Facebook, and then it said they were casting models for an international brand, so he was going to act as a model agency. Thank God at this point I still hadn't started modeling, but because I was so consumed with passion for modeling, I was doing a lot of research, I was reading online, I was just going through different articles, watching YouTube, reading pages, reading stuff on Facebook about how the modeling industry works. And then I started asking him, okay, you say you're going to act as a model agent for me, mind you, he also started with saying that registration was 3,000 naira, and at this point I had the money actually to pay, but I wasn't so gullible anymore like the first time where I didn't even have the money. So I asked, what's the name of the agency that you're going to pitch me to outside the country? He mentioned the agency. I said, what's their Instagram page? He became aggressive. He was like, did he tell me that they have any Instagram page? That all he's saying is that there's an agency outside the country. If I'm not ready to, I was like, calm down. Definitely, if you're pitching me to a bigger agency outside the country, at the very least Instagram, because then this was like 2016, 2017. Then Instagram was still a big thing for modeling. TikTok had not yet come out, and all these other many social medias. I was like, there's no way you tell me that they don't have. Okay, fine, they don't have Instagram. What's their website? This guy became more aggressive and started insulting me. The guy really insulted me, and I was like, whoa. So if I didn't take my time to ask all these questions and I just started jumping in on it, that's how I would have paid you money and then you'd have disappeared. I also had an experience with another one. This one, they reached out to me, said they wanted to sign me as a model, and I asked them a simple question. I said, do you sign petite models? And this agency asked me back, what is petite model? Can you imagine an agency that doesn't understand what petite model means? So when you notice that when you start asking them questions and they are avoiding in standard industry questions and sensitive standard industry questions, you should ask the agency, what kind of models do you represent? This is my body statistics, this is my height, do you represent models of my type? And then they should be able to at least tell you that, oh, they have a client base. You should be able to see that. You shouldn't even have to ask them. You should be able to see from their page that this is what they have done. These are the clients that they have worked with. But fine, if you don't see any proof of that in their page, then ask them, and you will not. You're not stupid. I believe the person. I'm talking to you now, and I know you're not stupid. You will be able to tell from the way they start answering you that these ones have nothing to offer. They just want to collect your money and run. So please be very careful. Take your time doing your research, and then when you reach out to an agency or when any agency reach out to you, don't be too quick to jump in on the offer. Always take your time to do your research. I sincerely hope that this has been really helpful to you, and I hope that you don't fall into any scam. If you've been a victim of any modeling scam, I am deeply sorry that you had to go through that, but I hope that you would not fall into any scam from now henceforth. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. As you can see, my channel is a small one. I need all the support that I can get. You can share this and leave a comment, and then most importantly, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.